That was really freaky. Whatever just happened there. Um, you're banging doors and everything. Was that no? But that I mean, right? I mean, your unified field signaled like painter, and I said like when I said, I get it. Like Adolf Hitler was a painter, and the door slammed, and we went inside, and it was like color, and I mean, okay, but that was a little too frantic. Like, right? I mean, the point was the far right, the actual far right wing intellectuals, Nazi intellectuals, like futurists, like anyone. Part of the reason they're called the futurists. I mean, everything was the Marionetti who founded the first fascist party in Italy. They were called futurists. They were also painters. They also founded an art movement. Why was it called futurism? Like because I'm saying that part of what we're calling socialism is actually just the future. That is, it's meaning civilization. We're not there yet. The reason the Nazis perceived they were fighting the red and the gold. Red for Marxist communism, meaning the dictatorship in Russia, where the government owned everything and owned any freedom. Then gold for liberal capitalism, which is what we had, which is where, as they would have saw it, like a small group of Jewish financiers own everything, and like they don't care what happens to anyone, and little kids can get sick and die, and they don't care. That's what they were fighting, the red and the gold. They called what they were doing like the National Socialism, but certainly part of it was healthcare. But like so did the futurists and that was the fascists in Italy. I mean, anyone on the far right wing, all the intellectuals who probably fled to Argentina or wherever they went. I mean, they believed that part of that step after that there's a. I mean that that you get to civilization or socialism, meaning like where where there's a national system that functions to get little kids medicine and things like that. But because no one knows, because part of liberalism is like thinking life is the bookends between life and death, and that's it, and they don't believe in intergenerational projects or that there'll be a future, and you just go see a Jewish psychiatrist and take your pills and like wonder why you're depressed. No, like there'll be a future, and you want people to understand that like part of that involves a civilized society where people can take their little kid to the doctor, even if they're not, rich. But it has to be something. It has to be a place we go as an intergenerational project. If you could see why they trick people into thinking like something bad's coming when we talk about a national healthcare system. Because right, I mean, people think it's just this and this. But it has to have, whatever it is going to happen. It's the next presidential term or whatever, and that's what's important. No, it's intergenerational projects towards civilization, otherwise known as like some form of socialism, national socialism or other kind. So, but meaning not meaning everything's owned. That's the Soviet Union and Marxist communism, whatever the hell they wanted to call what they were doing. They tricked them by saying we're going to socialism. But no, I mean, we want a national healthcare system, but it's good to know what I meant last night. All far right-wing intellectuals, futurists, fascists, Nazi, whatever they were into, or just any intellectual, basically believes 21st century must be the age of socialism, meaning like, you care whether or not little kids get sick and like everyone can go to a doctor and get proper health care. But it's a mindset to get us there. It's not like, what are the policies with a Congress like this and everything? Obviously, nothing can happen now. Change any kind of anything is shut down when the government's like this. Whether or not they shut down the government or not, it's shut down because people's minds are like warped by having these kind of representatives, or maybe they have these kind of representatives because their minds are warped. I don't know which came first.